Hi friends, it's Virtualee. Welcome to an update on the Cursed Beauty prequel. You don't have to see the very first story, but I do recommend it. It's my first story on the channel. I really love it, and it kind of spun off into this other story that has been on hiatus. I have the story written. I've just been lazy and haven't gotten screenshots for you guys, but I'm going to try and bring it back slowly and surely. We will finish the story. To catch you guys up, and for those that are new on the channel, I'll catch you guys up as well. Basically, this story is about a teenage girl that has powers. She came into powers upon one of her teenage birthdays, and one of the things that she can do is she can turn people into figurines when she's stressed out, when she feels under duress or attacked. And that spun into this whole, where did these powers come from? Who am I? And who she is she is a descendant of her great-great-great-great-grandmother. The founder of her family is a fallen fae, or a fallen angel. The fallen fae, when they become teens, they go through this initiation of sorts where they go into certain paths. There's 3 paths they can take. They can either become a demon, which is holy bad energy, or a witch, which is holy good energy, or a fairy, which is kind of like the yin and the yang. They have both the bad energy and the good energy. And so basically she's just learning this about her family, her legacy. She thought she was being raised by her grandmother. Her grandmother turned out to be her mother, because one of the things that happens with fays is they're cursed. When they fell from their dimension, whatever that dimension was, they became cursed. And so the curse is going through the paths, finding out which path they're going to lead. And also they go through this thing when they become young adults where the Grim Reaper, who happens to be their great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, steals their essence so that he can maintain his power and maintain immortality. And so sucking their energy when they become young adults turns the Fae into elders, and it takes their powers away. And so, this is something that she knows she's going to face in the future. The other thing she learned is that she can only have female babies. The Fae are only females in their dimension. So that's another thing that she has to deal with when she becomes a young adult and she starts a family. But right now she's in high school. She's a really great student. She's trying to get a scholarship to go to the university, but this is a very traumatic time for her. Finding out she's a fae, finding out she has all these curses to deal with, finding out that her grandmother is actually her mother, and that her great-great-great-great-grandparents are lunatics. Pretty much that's the gist of the story. And in the very last episode, the last episode that we had on the channel, she actually was taken into the precinct because there's been a lot of wonky things that have been happening in the town, and that people are becoming suspicious of Tatiana having a part of it. Mortimer's house was on fire and his parents died. Gunther Jr., Mortimer's brother, is missing, is declared missing. There's a missing detective, there's a missing professor, and the Bachelors, which is Bella Bachelor and her family, were poisoned, and nobody knows what's going on. And on top of all of this, if that weren't enough, she is going through a phase in school where she's being bullied by the very popular girls, which is pretty cliche, but it helps move the story along, and hopefully we'll get there sooner rather than later. Now that you're caught up, now that you know what's happening, then I can go on to the story. And before I go into the story, I just want to wish you guys a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys on the flip side. Take care. The school was buzzing with excitement over the soon approaching homecoming dance, the girls nervously awaiting the boys' invites to the fanfare. And the boys were so nervous to ask because, let's face it, there's always a 50-50 chance at rejection. Yes, everyone is excited except 2 people, Nancy Landgrab and Tatiana Thibodeau, although for very different reasons. Nancy, because of her recent breakup with one of the most swoon-worthy teens in the school, and Tatiana, because her entire world was a snow globe all shaken up. Nancy rolled her eyes when Mortimer ignored her in the school's hallway. She stepped away from her locker and followed him a few steps behind. "Mort, we need to talk." Mortimer sighed and paused.
"No, Nancy. I was pretty clear the night of the movies. We've grown apart. We aren't middle schoolers anymore, and you refuse to grow up. Besides, this is our last year in high school. Do you really want to spend it in a miserable relationship?
Nancy flushed red, adrenaline on high, lips trembling. Are you saying I'm miserable to be around more? Amazingly calm, Mortimer answered her question.
No, I'm saying you and I don't work. I'm saying I hate the drama that follows you. You and your band of merry women are the epitome of theatrics. Moreover, I'm saying I don't love you. Hell, I don't even know if I like you. Now, if you excuse me, I have a test to take.
Nancy, while extremely offended, had an epiphany. Oh, my creator. You're falling for that trailer trash hussy, aren't you? Mortimer scowled, then sighed heavily.
I have a million comebacks that would belittle and leave you emotionally scarred for quite some time. However, I'm going to refrain because I will not stoop to your level. Not now, not ever.
You're going to regret this more. She clenched her teeth and continued loudly. I will always be the one who got away more. Mortimer sighed smugly.
Excuse me. I have to go ask Tati if she'll go to the dance with me.
Nancy lost her cool with the recent news and kicked the lockers, only sending pain up her toe. She wobbled to the nurse's office slinging snot all the way there because, although she didn't know if her toe was broken, she was certain her heart was. Later that afternoon in the school cafeteria, Bella and Tatiana were sitting in their usual spot in the very back of the room. The queen bees were also huddled at their table, minus one very absent Nancy. Bella played with her lunch and whispered, Hey, did I tell you how much you mean to me? I mean, how kick-ass it is you saved me and my family's life? How did you know, Tati? Tatiana was in La La Land, willing the day to be over. She wanted a hot bath, a long nap, before studying tonight. When Bella asked her question, she was removed from her reverie. She shrugged. Thanks, Bella. You know, I would do anything for you. You would have done the same for me. As for knowing, I saw it. This time, I was sleeping. Bella perked up. Did you see who it was, Tati? Who delivered the pizza? Mom said whoever delivered it had a baseball hat on and never looked her in the eye. Tatiana, frustrated with her capabilities, whispered, That was the only thing I couldn't see, Bella. I'm sorry. Bella felt bad for pushing Tati to look beyond her gift, so she switched topics. Did you hear Mort broke up with Nancy after the movies last weekend? I'm surprised it took him this long to do it. Tatiana stared blankly at her food. I had no idea. But Mort deserves better, though. Tatiana stated when she started calling her vision ritual. She got goose flesh and heavy, dizzy feeling when black and white photos took place of her reality. Adult Bella and adult Mortimer. And, strangely, a wedding. Then back to her normal reality. Hopping hippos, should she tell Bella? She had a current track record of accuracy when she had her visions, and hey, this was one of her first true future sights. Could this mean she was finally finding a way to manage her resources appropriately? Bella didn't miss a step. Good grief, you look like you saw a frog in a bikini. You're so pale, Tati. Do you need some juice? Tatiana was going to respond when Mortimer sat next to her. Mortimer was unusually happy. He hadn't felt this unburdened for quite some time.
Hi, guys.
He called out to the girls.
I know this is kind of unexpected, and if you already have plans, I'll understand. But, Tatiana, I would love to have you at my side at homecoming.
Bella cried with enthusiasm. OMC, how romantical. Of course she would love to.